Collection reveal, part 2 of my series. Just like in part 1, I'm going to be going through 10 cards, each card increasing in value as we go along until we finally hit number 1. And so starting at number 10 here, we have an ultimate rare Inferno Fire Blast from Soul the Duelist, and it is unlimited and graded a PSA 9 mint. These ultimate rare cards of ultra rare prints from following the Ancient Sanctuary box, talking from Soul the Duelist up until, what was it, I think Gladiator's Assault and a little bit on beyond that, they got printed. These are just really hard to grade. These cards get scratches on the surface really easily, and they tend to have these box indentations on the back of the cards from the hollow foil stamp on them, so they can also get scratching on the back, so they're just really hard to grade. And even in an unlimited form, and not first print for this card, I think it's still a value. I got this pretty cheap when I bought it, but being Infernal Fire Blast, which is a super cool card, even in ultra rare print, being an ultimate rare, just looks so nice and has that nice shine to it, and just a really cool card, I will think. And then for number 9 here, we have a Pokemon card. It is a Japanese promo Noctowl Hollow from the Battle Tower tournament, and this is actually a prize card. It's graded PSA 10 Gem Mint. This is an interesting card because you just don't really see it much, and it's only a pop 2 on the PSA 10, and which it doesn't make it like extremely valuable by any means, but it's a really cool card because it is a prize card. Although for this battle tour, this was for the Knockout Battle Tour tournament held in Japan, which was held in several locations for one. And then this card was given just to people who given out to people who'd won just one game. So you're talking literally half the people that participated in the knockout tournament would have gotten this card. But it is still technically a prize card. And then the artwork on this card, I just really love it. The Noctowl imagery itself just looks really cool, the stance of it. And then this midnight background with that large moon in the back, and then these trees and kind of like a cloudy cover. It just looks really nice, I believe. And so I just really loved this card, and when I first saw it for sale, I didn't know anything about it. I'd never seen the card, and I went and did some research on it and found out that it's probably a rare card to an extent. Being rare doesn't make it valuable to it, although, but I really wanted it and bought it. Then for number 8, we have a 2014 Beals Premium Gold First Edition, graded PSA 10 Gem Mint. Right now, this is the only printing of Beals, and for those of you who might not be more aware of the modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards, this is one of like the best synchro monsters that there is. It's so incredibly hard to deal with. One of the only ways to really deal with Beals was to compulse it to get it off the field or banish it. But other than that, you can't destroy it. It's just so hard to deal with. And then also, this is another example of a newer era Yu-Gi-Oh card that I believe will have collector value. Not so much right now, just because it's just not there yet. But this is the only printing of Beals. It probably will get reprinted, but this is still a secret rare printing from Premium Pack Gold, or from Premium Gold, which is an expensive set. You're talking about like $15 to $20 per pack, and then only 5 cards per pack with maybe a chance to get a secret rare. So it's a hard pull from a really expensive set, and it's printed only one, or it's the only printing so far. Right now, this card is a loose card, and be able to play with. You're talking $30-$35. Because it just recently got unbanned, and so it rose in value incredibly fast, which everyone who knew it, or anyone who knew anything, would have foresaw that, because it's just such a good card for any extra deck. And coming in at number 7, we have the first edition LOB Gem Mint 10 Celtic Guardian. Not a whole lot to say about this card, but it's a super rare from LOB. One of the cooler kind of super rares to an extent, just because Yugi used this card so much in the anime. It's a cool card, cool artwork on it. I always liked the card when I was watching the show when I was younger. Not incredibly valuable, but it's needed for completing that PSA 10 first edition LOB set that I'm working on. Then at number 6, we have a first edition Legacy of Darkness, Gem Mint 10, Dark Ruler Hades. This card was actually really cool when it came out because of its effect. Being a 2450 one sacrifice, that was just good on its own. The effect applied with that was pretty cool as well. And then this being a Legacy of Darkness PSA 10 card, everybody knows obviously that Legacy of Darkness has those huge centering issues. So getting a Legacy of Darkness Ultra Rare in PSA 10 as a first edition, it's just always good. It's always going to be hard to get those cards in PSA 10 just because of that centering issue. And so part of the Legacy of Darkness set that I'm working on as well. And just a really nice card to have, and one that you always feel relieved whenever you get a Legacy of Darkness PSA 10 that you can check off the list. Number 5, we have a really interesting card that I've been excited to talk about. I might actually make a whole nother video just kind of talking about these kind of cards, but this is a Japanese Dark Paladin Ultimate Rare print from 2002 in the Champion Black. This is a reprint of the Dark Paladin in Ultimate Rare form. For the Japanese series and their second and third series, their booster boxes and sets, they released one Ultimate Rare reprint card in each set that was a very high rarity pull. And so you're talking about like the starter deck Kaiba Blue Eyes White Dragon artwork being reprinted in Ultimate Rare, which is extremely expensive card. Dark Magician in Ultimate Rare, Summon Skull, Black Skull Dragon, Barrel Dragon, all those classic vintage Ultra Rare and Secret Rare cards printed in Ultimate Rare. And the only place you can get them is from the OCG Japanese sets that printed them. And so these cards, I highly believe that they're going to be valuable once collectors kind of start realizing that they exist, for one. And once the buyer market for collecting and Yu-Gi-Oh collecting just gets stronger, I think these cards are going to be really hot. And especially like this Dark Paladin, where it just shines so nice with that Ultimate Rare printing. And you'll never get another Dark Paladin with Ultimate Rare printing other than the OCG. Then for number 4, we have a first edition Relinquished from Magic Ruler, graded PSA 10, Gem Mint. This card's just really cool. I've talked about it before, but MRL, just a really undervalued set right now. Even Relinquished, which is one of the most expensive cards out of the set, other than maybe like Toon Blue Eyes Dragon, is still undervalued in my opinion. When this card hit the TCG, it really changed up the meta. Magic Ruler was what first brought in the ritual spell cards, and when ritual spell cards just came out, the ritual summoning, everyone was really hot on them. It was just a really cool thing to see because it was just a new summoning mechanic that came to the game, and special summoning just wasn't that prevalent in old school Yu-Gi-Oh! And then this card was by far the best ritual monster. You can compare this card to like Giant Crab Turtle, which is a 2,750 beat stick, or Relinquish, that just has that strong effect that it's just so hard to get around. And then at number 4, going back to Pokemon, with a first edition Shining Tyranitar from Neo Destiny, graded PSA 8. My English collection for Pokemon is pretty much all PSA 8s. The Japanese, I'll collect PSA 10s for Pokemon, but for English, I just collect PSA 8s. Anything graded higher than that typically just gets too far out of my price range for what I want to pay for Pokemon cards. And for those of you who don't know, really for PSA standards, anything that's 7 or higher is considered of collector value or collector condition. So 7 is just a near mint, and then 8 is the near mint to mint, 9 is mint, 10 is gem mint. So anything 7 to 10 is of a collector condition, is for newer era cards anyway. You're talking about older, like vintage baseball cards, you can get a PSA 1 of that and it'll still be expensive as hell. But yeah, Shining Tyranitar here, just really cool card, artwork pops, high dollar card here. And then for number 2, we have a Yu-Gi-Oh! First Edition Rainbow Dragon from Tactical Evolution, graded PSA 10, Gem Mint. Rainbow Dragon, it's kind of funny, this is a card that I actually prefer in the Secret Rare, because the Secret Rare just has that really nice coloring to it, with the gold, or the red and the blue background that shines really nice with that Secret Rare foiling. That being said though, the Ghost Rare obviously looks just as nice. It just has that nice 3D effect to it when you get the light to hit it just right. And this was a card that I got pretty recently. Yeah, these Ghost Rares in Gem Mint 10 first edition form, they're gonna be hard to get, and they're gonna be high dollar cards. I know it for sure. These Ghost Rares, they're hard pulls. If you do get lucky and end up pulling them, their surface on these cards, because of the foiling, is just so easy to scratch, so you can pull them right out of the pack and they'll have scratches up and down the card. The 10 pop reports, they're going to be low on these Ghost Rare cards. And so then, what's going to beat out a Ghost Rare for the number 1 card? It is back to Pokemon with a Gold Star Charizard from EX Dragon Frontiers. Again, this is an 8. This card in PSA 10 Gem Mint, that's quite an expensive card, but I bought this card probably 6-7 months ago, so it's been a little while, but this card has easily doubled in value since I purchased it, and it's a hot card. Anything Charizard's been hot. Pokemon has just been on a really steady increase, jumping at times for price and cards, and Charizard has been at the front of every increase in price. You can just look at any set, and if there's a Charizard in it, that card will probably be at least double or triple the value of the next card within that set in holographic form. It's just how ridiculous that the value on anything Charizard is. And I'm actually not the biggest fan of Charizard, almost because it's just too hyped of a card in a Pokemon. But this Gold Star card, I just really love it. The color on it pops so well. The black and the red just go really nice together, and then the card itself has got that dark black to it. This is by far my favorite Charizard card, and I know a lot of people are really big on the base set Charizard with the all red holo foil and sparkle to that, but I just think that this is by far the best Charizard. So that is 10 more cards out of my collection. You can expect the next collection reveal video to be posted really whenever I feel like it, or whenever I just have the time to make one. As always, thank you for watching.